I think the Faithful Servants Care Center gives a great opportunity for churches citywide, the body of Christ, to be the body of Christ. We have medical professionals, doctors, nurses, paramedics, pharmacists volunteering their time, which are part of your congregations, that can do that. We have people that provide food for those both that come and both those volunteers. There's people that do administrative and bookkeeping. There's people that pray. There's people that provide transportation to many people in their greatest need. They don't have insurance. They're not on Medicaid. They're trying to work and support families or themselves, but they fall through the cracks of our medical system.
I think Christ called the church to take care of the sick and the poor, and that there's a lot of sick and poor in third world countries, but there are a lot of people in our own backyards that really don't have care in this country. And that was the start of the vision to put the clinic in the building that it's in. Some of them will just thank us for saying, thank you for giving us an opportunity as a church to fulfill that mission that God called us to.
There's a lot of people in our own congregation who needed medical coverage, who needed medical care, who couldn't afford to go buy prescriptions or couldn't afford to seek the necessary help that now they can get and that Faithful Servants has provided.
So sometimes it's not necessarily just the medical part of it that helps people, but also just being able to talk to them, and to get to know them a little bit more and to show them that we care.
One of the visions for our pastor is to extend or to go beyond the four walls of the sanctuary and reach out to our community as well as those right there in the midst of our church family. It's a twofold ministry in that we have an opportunity to not only tend to the physical needs of those patients, but there's also an opportunity to introduce them to Christ.
People would say, how are you going to advertise for the free clinic? And I said, well, our best option right now is to get into churches and tell them what we're doing and get them involved and get them a part of it. And then the word spreads through the church, and it really has happened. A lot of times you ask a patient, how'd you hear about us? And they say, well, my neighbor goes to this church that they told about Faithful Servants, so she told me about it, and here I am.
Well, one of the best things in my mind about Faithful Servants is how it has brought so many different churches and so many different people of faith together. People see that this is really the church in action. This is people being the hands and feet of Christ.
Sometimes it's kind of nice just to sit with a patient and pray together, and we can do that. So I think the church has a big role, all the churches do, in supporting this ministry.
Being a faithful servant means to serve selflessly, with humility, with love, and doing it for God and to glorify Christ's name.
What it means to be a faithful servant is to just do that, to simply serve in whatever capacity is necessary.
Now, the body of Christ is just like every other body. You have hands, you have feet. Some of us have talents to actually give medical care. Some of us are at the front desk that are listening to understand what the problem is and so that they can get back to be seen. Some of us are the feet that carry patients sometimes home. Everybody can take a part in giving care and showing God's love. And this has just been a good place to see all those different pieces and parts work together.
I can't tell you how many times I've had people tell me through their tears, I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been here. And to hear that is, it's beyond meaningful. It really is what this is all about, why we're doing this ministry.